as is Aibek, one of the founding members of the AFF in Azakstan. A geography teacher for 10 years, he was radicalized in the 90s after his brother was imprisoned for anti-Soviet propaganda. The brother later died in a Soviet gulag. Aibek's last known sighting, according to the Russians, Lake Vrul, Azakstan.
The Russians are telling us there's a loose end. They claim Aibek is coming here to acquire Paroxocybin, which is impossible.
So what's the real reason?
Moscow's determined to discredit the AFF. The more they do so, the more international support they'll get for their invasion of Azakstan. Catching a known terrorist on UK soil would play into that.
What better than to have the British intelligence do all the grunt work?
Quite. So our task is to determine whether Aibek really is a threat and head off a potential PR coup for Moscow.
Okay, Beth, distribute Aibek's details Europe-wide, notify all ports of entry. Dimitri, get onto known sympathizers of the AFF in the UK. Ruth, can you dig up everything on the original Paroxocybin project?
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Go ahead, Ruth. I know you want to say it. I told you so.
If Aibek is a threat and the Home Secretary realizes we let him go...
I can deal with Towers.
No. It isn't just Towers. We have to have a strategy.
I don't need you to fight my battles for me, Ruth.
The Home Secretary wants to see you. Sounded urgent.
I've just had the Russian ambassador on the phone. He thinks you're an obstructive, pompous dinosaur.
Very diplomatic.
And you know what? I'm inclined to agree. All he was asking for was some cooperation in the war against terror.
The only reason the Russians want Aibek is to justify their invasion of Azakstan. It is not the job of British intelligence to aid in that objective.
The Russians believe he'll use it here, and your job is to apprehend terrorists. If you're not up to it, just say the word. The Russians want a man on the grid.
An FSB officer at Thames House. That's absurd.
There's a real threat here, and your Russian expert agrees.
You've spoken to Ruth?
She's an advisor, Harry. That's what she's there for, to give me advice. I told the ambassador it won't be a problem. So don't let it be.
Sir Harry Pierce, I'm honored.
Has he been screened?
Yes.
Meeting room, 10 minutes.
This is the original KGB report on Paroxocybin. Symptoms start with convulsions, involuntary urinations, and defecations. Death by asphyxiation follows within 2 hours. Paroxocybin is contagious. It would take 3 days to infect 1 million people. In less than a week, it could infect the population of Moscow or London.
Any antidote?
Research stopped after the ban. There is no known treatment.
Is it easily transportable?
To remain inactive, it needs to be kept at -9°C. Once it comes into contact with air, it vaporizes and produces a colorless, odorless gas.
It's our assessment that if Aibek acquires Paroxocybin, he will attempt to use it in the UK.
Why would he do that?
Because Russia and Great Britain are allies, Sir Harry. We work together on the Azakstan mission. As far as the AFF is concerned, that makes you a legitimate target.
French security just reported that Aibek boarded a Eurostar first thing this morning. They estimate he's already been in London for over an hour. When the French intel came in, I ran a probability logarithm predicting possible locations of Aibek. That's him.
What's that he's carrying? Getting closer.
I can try a thermal analysis. It's lined with some sort of insulator. He's keeping it below freezing.
Then he has the Paroxocybin. We have to stop him before he releases it.